Howdy, 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 and welcome to Thriving in the Transition, the podcast. Episode 16, folks. I'm humbled and blessed to be able to bring this podcast to you and be part of your lives. Yeah, I say it every week. That's only because I mean it every week. Your feedback, your encouragement, your connection make this all worthwhile. What's more, I can see you starting to connect with each other. What's more, I can see you all connect with each other. That's super awesome. That's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. Doing this, connecting with you, is absolutely amazing. It's inspirational. I hope you feel a small percentage of what I feel. So, yay me, yay you, and yay us. As we continue to grow and broaden our audience, give us that 5-star rating. Follow us, subscribe, add positive comments, like us, or give us a thumbs up. What I'm ultimately saying, what I say every week, is that you should connect with us. You should engage with us. We're up now. We're available on Anchor FM, Apple Podcast, Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. Simply search for us wherever you listen to great podcasts. We strive to be among that great podcast list that you listen to, that you rely upon, and ultimately find useful. Why am I doing this? Who in their right minds would produce, publish, manage, carve time out of their lives for a podcast? Well, you know I'm doing it for all the right reasons. Just trust me. Yeah, that's it. I'm doing it for the right reasons. That's why I'm doing it. The truth is simply, I want to practice what I preach. I absolutely believe that part of my purpose is to connect with others and bring people together. Now, more than ever, folks, hear me out. We need this. We need to come together. We need to understand. The world is crazy. Let's not make it any crazier, right? Let's support each other. Let's embrace our commonalities. Let's be one people. There's too much negativity. There's too much violence. There's too much misunderstanding. There's just too much. I want to be just part of that unification, of that process of healing, of understanding, of growth. I understand we've got our differences. We want to share them. We want to talk about them. We want to act them out when we're hurt. We act out of fear. We act out of pain. We act out of being in a system that doesn't respect us. I'm asking you to respect yourself. I just totally went off on a tangent. That's not where I wanted to go, but that's what came out, because I was talking about my purpose, and that's part of it, right? I want to highlight and ultimately exemplify the fact that we've got more in common than we do in difference. If we focus on those commonalities, folks, we can do it. We can come together. We can make sense of what's going on and get to a better place. I admit the differences are much easier to identify. But discovering and appreciating those commonalities is so much more fun, is so much more rewarding. And we've seen examples of that. Police walking with protesters. Police and law enforcement taking knees. There is commonality there, folks. There is common ground. We just have to look for it. So that's part of why I'm doing it. The other part, or the rest of the story as to why I'm doing this, is that I want to shine a bright light on those slightly enigmatic, the charismatic, those inspirational people among us. I want to share their stories about thriving in and during times of transition. My theory being that hearing about other people succeed will give anyone that may be struggling with the motivation, that may be struggling with encouragement, you'll get those things. You'll be motivated. You'll be encouraged. to continue and thrive in your own respective transition. This week, I'm thoroughly excited. You get to meet someone near and dear to my heart, someone very well practiced in transitions and being comfortable with discomfort. Oh yeah, that's our topic for this week, being comfortable with discomfort. Many people balk and struggle and stumble during transition because of discomfort. Discomfort throws us off our game. It's that physical, it's that mental component of a transition. But never fear, Sarah Zadigan is here. That's my guest this week. I bet you thought I forgot all about it, right? I bet you thought I got sidetracked like I did in the very beginning. That was just a little diversion to get to this point right here. See, it was all intentional. Anyway, we're going to jump into things with Sarah and this notion of being comfortable with discomfort right after this little break. I can't thank Sarah enough for her words and her vulnerability. Those stories that she shared, so real, so visceral even. I think it's pretty obvious why we're friends, and I appreciate her friendship, and her support of me over the years. Here's a quick recap of our conversation as it pertained to being comfortable with discomfort. One, think of things as growing pains. The mental pains of growth absolutely mirror the physical pains of growth. Think about evolution or a continual evolution. You also have to realize that somewhere down the line, we changed the language of transition. It's no longer a good thing. It's no longer a positive thing. It's bad. But Sarah's key, you have to be vulnerable. You have to focus on the vulnerability. Now, she also talked about this concept of practice. Things get easier the more you practice them. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out and embrace as many transitions as you can. Well, actually, part of me is suggesting that. But you have to be mindful and you have to be present as part of the practice of embracing transition and all that it will bring to you. She also talked about this concept of having faith in yourself and in your goal, right? You're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. I believe in you. You just have to stop and believe in yourself and have faith that you're headed in the right direction. Even if you can't see the end, even if there isn't that light at the end of the tunnel yet, have a little faith. She also spent quite a bit of a time talking about your crew, your squad. You have to surround yourself with people that will honor your transition. And I like this whole concept of honor. It goes beyond support. It goes beyond understanding, because those folks that will honor your transition may give you that needed boost when you forget to honor your own. There was also this amazing quote that she shared from Teddy Roosevelt. I'm not going to repeat the same thing because I won't deliver it as well as she did. The gist, if you fail while daring greatly. That's amazing, right? If you fail while daring greatly. That means don't fail sitting on the couch. Don't fail because you never started. Don't fail because you don't have the confidence. Go balls to the wall. Go all out. I used to play trumpet. My band director says, if you make a mistake, make sure that everybody knows that you made a mistake. That's what fail daringly means, or fail while daring greatly. She also talked about the opinions of other people. Now, we're all susceptible to this, right? We're not as good as them. We don't have what they have. We don't have their background. We're not from where they're from. Whatever. The point that she made, the opinions of other people not in the arena with you don't matter. It's only those folks that are fighting your fight, those folks that are fighting alongside you, in front of you, behind you, those folks that you know have your back. Those are the opinions that matter. She said this really awesome thing. Sometimes you have to Marie Kondo the people in your life. If they're not bringing you joy, done. Move on. Get some people that will bring you joy. Along the way, you also have to express gratitude. Simply put, other times, you have to choose to make the language of transitions positive versus negative. Things started at the beginning, we've chosen to make that language negative. You need to take it back. You need to make it positive. You need to look for the adventure. You need to look for the fun. Along the way, transitions are periods of vulnerability, which is how we take back that language. Strengths and vulnerability are not mutually exclusive. You can still show your strengths and be vulnerable. You can be vulnerable and be strong, as long as you focus on your goal and do what's right for you. You have to be aware of the feelings of being uncomfortable. Those are the things that signify growth. Those are the things that simplify you're on the right path. But you also need to be aware, is it that you're growing, or maybe you're growing away from those in your arena? Both are real. Both are true life examples. That's why you need to pause and take stock of where it is. Don't be afraid of the pain. Don't shy away from that discomfort. That's the time to take stock and see where you are and which one it is. Is it just your growth or you growing away from the folks in your arena? Then choose to proceed based on your determination. No one else's determination, on your determination. We also talked about, and this is huge, right? Changing goals is not the same as quitting. Quitting means that you're not willing to put in the work. Changing goals means you're no longer going to go in a direction that's not beneficial for you. You're no longer going to go in a direction that's not going to be fruitful to your endeavors, beneficial to your family, that's going to get you to the next level. Not the same as quitting. Quitting means you're not willing to put in the work, which by reverse definition, you have to put in the work to get through the transition. Just thought I'd throw that one in for extra measure. Lastly, give yourself some grace. You have to accept the transition for all that it has to offer. Don't beat yourself up. Don't blame yourself. Don't belittle yourself. You have to give yourself some grace. That's how you will make it through the transition. As I right now reflect on that conversation with Sarah, there was so much goodness. I want to add a bunch of stuff, but you know what? That conversation was so good that I'm not going to add anything because it stands alone. I'm simply going to segue by saying, leverage these points and my conversation with Sarah Zadigan to thrive in the transition. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of another episode of Thriving in the Transition, the podcast. This happened to be episode 16, and I couldn't be any more thrilled to be at this point with you. Thanks for joining, and thanks for allowing me the opportunity to be myself. We all need to do that. We all need to make that part of our transition. If you're getting something from this podcast, go ahead and give me a 5-star evaluation wherever it is that you're listening to this podcast. Subscribe to us from that list of great podcasts that you listen to. Please subscribe and add us to that list of great podcasts that you already listen to. I know you're listening to them. I see all the podcast options. Just add this one to what you already listen to. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Logic Consulting. Also, follow me on Instagram at Logic Coach. That's LOGIQ_coach. You know what? Also, follow me on Spotify at GQ Down. You get to see a great playlist of all the love songs that folks talk about. And you get to see all the other music that I use to help me in my transitions. The playlist name? Shocker. Thriving in the Transition. Reach out on LinkedIn at DJ Will Rock. Don't forget to follow that YouTube channel of the same name, Thriving in the Transition. And there's that website too, www.thrivinginthetransition.com. Now, get all of our episodes right from that website. There's a page just for the podcast. Go there, get caught up. Also, take a look at how else we can connect. Maybe some other services, some consulting you want to hire me out for. I do public speaking. Holla at your boy. I'll talk to your group in person or virtually. Lastly, if you're interested in supporting this podcast and helping us grow, send me an email, send me a tweet, send me an IM, hit me up in the DMs. You'll find a sponsorship button on my homepage at Anchor FM, www.anchor.fm/TITT. TITT for Thriving in the Transition. Again, look for that support button. Most importantly, don't keep this a secret. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. While you're at it, do something that makes you uncomfortable this week. Then let me know what that was and how it turned out. You've got my permission to make yourself uncomfortable, to do something uncomfortable. All right, folks, until the next episode, cheers. Have a great day. About to do it. Howdy, 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 and welcome to Thriving in the Transitions, the podcast, episode 16. I know things have gotten real, right? They are. You've told me. You started connecting with each other. I'm humbled and blessed to be able to bring this podcast to you and to be part of your lives. Yeah, I say it every week. Hopefully it doesn't get old, but I do mean it every week. Your feedback, your encouragement, your connection make it all worthwhile. What's more, I can see you start to connect with each other, and we're going to stop and try it all again.